At this point in their careers, Giannis Antetokounmpo and Khris Middleton are household names for any die-hard NBA fan. And now they're just one win away from their first NBA title and the Bucks' first championship since another dynamic duo led them to the promised land 50 years ago. But Giannis and Middleton aren't your common superstar duo. In fact, both of them had an unconventional route to the NBA and an even more unlikely path to become the championship contenders they are now. Let's dive into their stories. Sit back, relax, and take this in. Middleton and Giannis both arrived to the Bucks in the summer of 2013, although in different ways. Giannis had just been selected with the 15th overall pick in the 2013 draft after spending 2 years playing third division basketball in his adopted home country of Greece.
With the 15th pick in the 2013 NBA draft, the Milwaukee Bucks select Giannis Antetokounmpo.
I studied him extensively on YouTube, and I thought he looked like a Greek Paul George. Now, he was going against an 8th grade CYO team.
While Giannis wasn't necessarily the most refined 18-year-old basketball player, his lanky frame and 7'3" wingspan were intriguing enough for the Bucks to take a swing at him. Middleton, on the other hand, had been drafted the year before Giannis, 39th overall by the Detroit Pistons, who immediately sent the Texas A&M prospect to their D-League affiliate, the Fort Wayne Mad Ants. After just 1 year in Detroit, where he only played 27 games, Middleton's rookie-scale salary was used as a filler in a bigger trade that centered around the Pistons landing Brandon Jennings and the Bucks trading for Brandon Knight. Little did the Bucks know it was going to be Middleton that would be the best player involved in that trade.
Yeah, well, 20/20 hindsight and all that, you know what they say.
Giannis and Middleton's first year together didn't get off to the best start. The Bucks finished the season 15-67, the absolute worst record in the entire NBA. And Middleton and Giannis weren't getting along either. In fact, they were fighting, almost literally, while competing for playing time against one another in practice. Giannis once told The Athletic, "I used to hate him, you know, this I'm gonna take his minutes. I hated playing against him and practicing against him because he was playing hard and I was playing hard, and we'd always clash against each other." Giannis also said that he would show his family in Greece the scratches and bruises Middleton would leave on him. But after year one, Giannis had grown, literally, going from 6'9" to being 6'11", which made it easier to coexist, and the two could operate in their own spaces and given roles. The Bucks improved drastically the next season, as did Giannis and Middleton, who helped lead them to a playoff berth. But the following year, Middleton sustained a left hamstring injury in preseason that made him miss the first 50 games. The injury was a massive setback for Middleton, who was finally coming into his own, signing a 5-year, $70 million contract in the summer of 2015. It was reported that the hamstring had been torn right off of his bone. Somehow, though, the injury turned out to be a blessing in disguise for the Bucks because it allowed even more room for Giannis to develop. In the summer of 2016, Giannis signed a 4-year, $100 million contract extension and backed it up by having a breakout season, averaging 23 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, and almost 2 steals and 2 blocks per game to win the league's Most Improved Player award. Now standing at nearly 7 feet tall and almost 30 pounds stronger than he was when he entered the draft, Giannis had become a superstar. Middleton returned and actually got better. The two players, who had at one point hated each other, had grown and developed a bond because of their competitive spirits, and now the Bucks had a dynamic duo. Milwaukee hired head coach Mike Budenholzer in 2018 in hopes of elevating the team's play, and that translated on the court. The Bucks won 60 games in Bud's first year as head coach, and Giannis took home his first MVP trophy. Meanwhile, Middleton made his first All-Star appearance, and Bud won Coach of the Year for his efforts. The Bucks went into the 2019 playoffs as the favorites to advance to the finals in the East, before being thwarted by Kawhi Leonard and the Toronto Raptors, who went on to win the title, despite having a 2-0 lead in the East Finals. Milwaukee came back the following season even better, finishing with the best record in the NBA for a second consecutive season. Giannis won his second MVP award in a row and added a Defensive Player of the Year trophy onto it, joining Hakeem Olajuwon and Michael Jordan as the only 3 players to have won both awards in the same year. Middleton was an all-star again. But again, the Bucks were upset in the second round by the Miami Heat, who eventually went on to the NBA Finals. At this point, the criticism and skepticism started to seep in about the Bucks core. Could they ever get it done in the playoffs? Is Middleton really a championship level number 2 option? Was Giannis's game translatable to postseason basketball? Is Coach Budenholzer just a regular season coach unable to make crunch time adjustments when it matters? But that was a position Giannis and Middleton were used to. After all, an 18-year-old kid from Greece and a D-League prospect are used to being underrated. In these playoffs, they have shut up critics every single step of the way. Middleton has come up clutch, hitting 15 game-tying or go-ahead buckets in the fourth quarter or overtime this postseason, tying LeBron James for the most in any single playoff run.
Chris Paul falls down and lost the ball.
And you've got numbers right now if you're the Bucks.
Holiday, Middleton, inside, he banks it home. Timeout, Phoenix. This building is shaking.
Giannis is putting up superhuman-like numbers, becoming the first player since Shaq to put up 40-plus points and 10-plus rebounds in back-to-back finals games. He's also the first player in NBA history to average 30, 10, and 5 on 60% shooting in the finals.
Knocked away and stolen by Holiday. Phoenix has to foul, and Antetokounmpo throws it down. And a foul. Giannis on the alley-oop. What a turnaround!
And now they're on the verge of accomplishing something that hasn't been done in Milwaukee since Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Oscar Robertson touched a basketball, while also dispelling any notion about the legitimacy of their dynamic duo. This entire Bucks team as a group is one that's been doubted. Brook Lopez is the one and only lottery pick of the starters. Drew Holiday, one of the best two-way players in the NBA, hasn't been an all-star since Giannis was drafted. PJ Tucker spent 5 years bouncing around in Europe before finally returning to the NBA and becoming one of the best wing defenders. All in all, the story of the Bucks is one that shows you what it takes to win in this league. Build a formidable team, fail a lot, grow as a group, and exercise your demons at every single step in a truly meaningful way. And it all comes down to the unlikely journeys of Giannis and Middleton that has led them to this very moment. That's a pretty damn cool story.